What's up, everybody? Wanted to try something a little bit new. Just kind of, I know normally I do gear reviews. I normally do like videos for fishing out in the wild or like just fishing out in my local lakes. But I wanted to take a second and take a step back and go through like the initial thing, which is buying the JDM fishing gear. So mostly a conversation. This is how I make my decisions, and this is what I look for. And these are the stores that I buy in. And so across the top, you have Japan Lure Shop. Most people know that page by now. I still think it's a fantastic page. And then KK Japan Lures, super good store, has higher end prices or more American based prices, but still a good store to buy from. And then Kichiya, which is kind of not a newer store that I've been using, but a store that I've been talking more about recently. So let's go through Japan Lure Shop. I always look at it in the morning. Every day it refreshes. Uh, Laptop is best just because you can go on the right hand side and see this like little Facebook feed. And it just gives you a brief summary of what you're looking at and what's out new. He sells a little bit of everything, rods, saltwater, freshwater, um, lures, obviously, fishing line, although the fishing line's kind of meh, sinkers, hooks, jig heads, stuff like that. So everything you need. Uh, I find that this page is always tried and true. So for a beginner, pricing is very simple and it makes sense and it's very straightforward. Of course, with the tariffs and all that, things can get a little bit wonky predicting kind of how much we'll have to pay. But regardless, Japan Lure Shop's always like a tried and true. Quick thing though, I want to get your guys' opinion. What like, I understand these colors, Imikatsu is always making wild colors, but does anybody ever use Chirashi? It's this, like, piled, like, pink, purple, chartreuse. Um, I just find it kinda weird, and it's like, maybe it's, like, a sleeper jig for smallies. I don't 100% know. My favorite color is usually the Graipan. Always have a ton of jigs. Quick thing though, I noticed with Japan Lure Shop is they are upgrading their game. They recently started stocking Issei baits, which if any of you guys have been following me for any amount of time, it is literally hands down my favorite company right now, outside of Jackal. Um, I've always been a Jackal fanboy, but let me know in the comments below if you've tried this brand or if you're thinking about it. Shizumi Mushi's in the 2.2 size, literally so many applications. It could be a trailer, it could be a standalone, it could like literally be used for pitching. I use it a lot in the spring during pre-spawn or spawn season, just because it's such a diverse bait, and especially during spawning, when those basses are on their beds, it fires them up so well. It just makes sense. And then the caramel shads, those I rig with the um sinkers underneath them, and it's like just a really good, simple, straightforward bait. I have videos of this prior where I just stick two small sinkers in the front and in the back just to balance it out, and it just works. Like literally, you need a hook, two sinkers, and or nail sinkers, I should say, two sinkers, and then the caramel shad, and you could just like literally, it's smallmouth candy. To KK Japan though, with this one, I always go down to the bottom. He's more visually appealing. He's more with the times. I would say that Japan Lure Shop's a little bit harder to find. I never use the search feature just because it never works out. But KK Japan, super organized. I've been buying him from him for a while. easy to talk to on Instagram. You can message him, he'll get back to you, ask him questions. He's very honest and straightforward. He has more American prices, I would say, like a jigs, 16.99. That's pretty much what you would pay for chatterbaits here. Um Ryugi nail sinkers, you can never go wrong with a Ryugi product. So the smaller the sinker, the better for the caramel shad situation, just because you can fit heavier weights without overloading the bait. So, you know, TG nail sinkers is the way to go for that. Doesn't have to be this brand, but it just happened to be on here. Drift fries, back in stock. That's good. These are sleeper baits. Everybody loves the 4 size. Personally, I love the micro size, so smaller the better for me, just because I do BFS fishing. But for KK Japan, I always scroll down to the bottom immediately, and I just check out what's new, see if anything strikes my fancy. He's one of the few people that stocks Geekrek baits, the JDM versions. And so if you're a Geekrek fan, this is definitely the website to get it at. And then last but not least, Kichia. I always turn on my translator. Um, it just makes sense. Let me refresh it. It's not working. So I go in here. People are going to be overwhelmed. If you have Safari or Google, I'm pretty sure it translates it to English. And boom, you're like just cooking rod, top water, minnow shad, wire baits, vibrations. Wire baits are obviously spinner baits. So they have the best JDM pick, and it's organized on top of that. So do not sleep on Kichia at all. They have collaborations, and they have sleeper bait companies that you couldn't get anywhere else choice wise, like D Style and some other brands that I'm going to go over in a little bit. You have Duo, the Pokemon baits, Ravoknik, good choice, even though Japan Lure Shop does carry Ravoknik as well. So not a big difference there. But they have Hide Up, which KK Japan does have as well, but more choices at Kichia. Something that I like, and the translations are always funny. Berkeley gets translated to Barkley, but that's just some funny. I really love Berkeley, Japan. Some of their baits are like really good. Maxent Maxent Pulse Tails 3-inch. You cannot go wrong, and they're always sold out. So the fact that they have some, I might snag some up. So the big difference with Kichia is that they use a middleman, Bai, as you can see on the left-hand side, and you have to go through them, and then they take care of you. But with this situation, there's the least amount of surprises. So this is where you get the Critter Hog. 4.2 is good, but I like the 3-inch Max Pulse Tail better. So super easy, super simple to order. It'll take you through Bai, so there's not going to be any surprising in pricing. There are other brands and more choices. Bottom Up was the other one. They have cool bottom up stuff. And if you're a huge fanboy, they also carry the rods of these companies. So D Style makes a rod, Bottom Up makes a rod, and I have one of them for, I think, D Style, like a D Style rod. Super, super good rod. So like you can expand your choices, whereas for rods here, there's Daiwa, Depths, Evergreen, Shimano, Megabass, Jackal. Whereas here you have like D Style rods. You have bottom up rods. You have Abu Garcia JDM rods, which are super cool looking. Haven't tried one yet, but nonetheless, other brands too. Let's click on it. And I just want to keep this short, just giving you guys some insider stuff to get loaded up for the spring season coming up. Well, some of our southern friends have already started, but for the northerners, spring season's coming up. They have Raid Japan, Engine, that's another rod that I carry. That is a sleeper brand. Engine rods, especially the special pricing, super sick. Here are some of the D style rods. And then there's a special brand I want to show you guys. Designo. These are like peak high end JDM rods. So again, thanks for tuning in. Just wanted to give you guys a quick breakdown, give you guys some decisions when it comes to fishing for that JDM gear. Drop a comment below if you use any of these, if you're curious about any questions that I can answer. And I can't wait till we thaw out here in Michigan and I can start making more content again. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next one.